This is so stressful. See you guys on the hill for the last time. Fun living in the real world. Ain't it good being all alone? Hey besties! For those of you who have been following me since my first videos here on the interweb, you've learned about my passion for medicine and desire to serve women, specifically Black women, as an OBGYN. Through the years, as I've grown into a woman, I've been better able to see who I am, my gifts, talents, and natural inclinations, and how they could be a part of my divine makeup to solve a problem in this world. My introduction to the historical disparities of Black women's healthcare in America ignited my fire to advocate to change the maternal mortality crisis plaguing our nation. But the more I learned and the more I fought for justice, the more I learned about how to fight for justice. I always saw myself as part of the solution as a physician, protecting the lives of birthing mothers one by one. Although I still believe that's a big part of my assignment, life has shown me it won't be the only part. My burden for social justice led to my advocacy for health equity, and in just a split second of time, my advocacy experience introduced me to the world of health policy, where federal changes in law and legislation impacted health inequities on a systemic level that would protect more lives than I could host in my doctor's office alone. So I capitalized on my gap year positioning and took a chance through the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Fellowship. As a health equity researcher for social justice in the National Racial Equity Initiative arm of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, I joined a cohort of intelligent Black men and women who were experts in their field and served as a voice for health equity, spending 6 months conducting research for publication at the Center for Policy Analysis and Research for the members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Working from home, networking with think tanks, congressional members, and nonprofit organizations, and traveling around the country for events, it was a gap year dream come true. Then, as the 6-month mark creeped up, I finished my Capstone publication and presentation for the foundation and was paired with a CBC member for the duration of my fellowship. I was to work as a full-time staffer on the Hill, a member of the health team, taking meetings with organizations, presidents, CEOs, and advocates, networking with other congressional member staff, preparing remarks for events my member would speak at, or research and write questions for markups and hearings. Working on the Hill was a whirlwind. I loved and admired my member, had a great team of staff to work alongside, and I had so much autonomy over my boss's health portfolio that it was both exciting and scary. Most days in the middle of my meetings in my boss's office, I would look around shocked and perplexed that I was working on Capitol Hill. Like, how did I get here? It felt so far from my years working in the hospital or doctor's offices, yet somewhat similar. The work-life balance of working on the Hill was very difficult for me to maintain. Health is a major policy point in politics, and many members have staffers dedicated to that work for them. So it was inevitable for me to consider, is this what I wanted for myself? Did I want to make a change in this world through health policy? As tempting as it was, I knew this wouldn't be my forever. God's plan for my life brought me here for a reason, and I know it'll come into play later in my future, as I believe that healthcare is political. But for now, this experience would stand as one of the most interesting and informative gap years of my life. But just one gap year, 12 months. The goal is still the same, medical school, so that I can practice medicine and advocate for my patients and changes of America's healthcare system from the inside out. I loved all the experiences I had while working at the foundation and on the Hill, but as my fellowship comes to a close, this chapter comes to an end. Here are my last days working on Capitol Hill. Good morning. welcome back to the vlog. What's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brelynn. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, ring the bell the way you don't miss notification from me, and follow me on my social media at brelynn.hunt. I am still very groggy from vlogging, you guys. It is the week after DNC, and it's basically like my last week of my fellowship, including my last week working on Capitol Hill. And this was very much so a once in a lifetime opportunity, and like a once in my lifetime type of thing. So I wanted to just vlog the last couple of days for memory's sake. I'll explain kind of things as they go along. I don't have much like on the docket except for today I'm giving my capstone presentation. So you guys know, or if you don't and you're new here, I'm working on Capitol Hill as a part of my fellowship that I've been in for a year. I started last September and it is like August 27th or so. So it was exactly 1 year, and I'm going to be finishing in September, which is why it's my last week. The fellowship is through the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, and I specifically am a NREI John R. Lewis Social Justice Fellow, and the NREI stands for National Racial Equity Initiative. Apple band is so cute because it's like dainty and small. Took out a lot of the links, and it makes it so hard to put on. By the way, this is the book that I'm currently reading right now. I would talk to you guys a lot back when I was doing community time about how I would read during the train ride. Some of you guys were like, how are you getting through all these books so quickly? And I'm like, I have like a 40-minute commute to work. Walking to my train station, I have my headphones in and I'm listening to the book. When I'm on the train, I bring out my book, I read it, and same going back. Anyway, today is super special because as a NREI fellow, I conducted research for the first 6 months with the foundation, and all of those have been officially published. So I have 5 publications now after the end of this fellowship. In addition to that, I also completed a capstone project, and today is the final presentation. So very much so like last day vibes, very bittersweet. Y'all, I don't want this stuff for breakfast. I don't want it. You can't tell, I'm packing my lunch as well as my breakfast. I am running just a little bit late today. I think I'm gonna have tea and my little mug with me. Mom got me this for my birthday. It says, follow your heart. I'm kind of a mess because I'm not really in my routine. It's my first time going into office since DNC, so I just don't feel like I know what I'm doing. Like even normally I take this bag to work with me because it's a backpack and I can just like flow with it, but I'm pretty sure the NREI fellows are going to go out after our presentations, and so I wanted to not only make sure I looked cute for my presentation today, but that I also still had like comfortable shoes on because I'm taking the metro and all that good stuff. Last couple days with the badge. And to be honest, it's like 80 degrees outside, so I'm sure I don't want to wear this while walking. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I have to update you guys on? It's been so long, so it's been like a day of my life. By the way, I'm only on chapter 3 or 4 of this book, so I'm not very far, so I don't have many thoughts on it. I will say that I have been reading Black authors back to back, both Legendborns and Kennedy Ryan books back to back. So now reading white characters, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all do exist. It looks like my work calendar is pretty chill. Also, why is it going to be a high of 98 today? Oh no, why does it say that my headphones are finna die? No, ain't no way. No. Are these not charged? Okay, no. I think I'm fine. Okay. To be honest, I'm just going to be going for my presentation because I finished my capstone in March. Personally, we got to vote, and I voted for us doing our capstone closeout presentation in March when we transitioned over to the Hill, because that's when the research was fresh in our minds. I have not looked at that research since. I mean, a couple of times, not well enough for me to do a whole presentation on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today at work, as well as just some other closing things and like some of my assignments. So I guess I should probably hurry up and get there. Let's go. right, good evening everyone. Welcome to my breakout room. Thank you so much for joining me for my closing capstone presentation. My name is Brelynn Hunt. I'm the Health Equity Fellow here for the John R. Lewis NREI Fellowship, and I'm excited to present to you all my capstone project, Healing Hands, Amplifying Black Healthcare Providers' Impact on America's Maternal Mortality Crisis. Some of my favorite highlights were planning the first inaugural maternal care fair here on the Hill as a part of my boss's co-chair position on the Bipartisan Maternity Care Caucus, as well as attending the NMQF Summit thanks to my sponsors at Amgen, and not only staffing but introducing my boss on stage, planning and moderating a panel for the Congresswomen's Caucus on Black women and girls during Black Maternal Health Week, and all while wearing my signature color, pink. I'm proud to have produced several publications for the Congresswoman CBC Health Brain Trust as editor-in-chief, including her monthly and 2 of her quarterly publications distributed to all of the CBC members. And personally, my favorite highlight was when the Congresswoman, who was from New York, hosted a Battle of the Pizza Day at our office where we ordered and compared New York, Chicago, and Detroit pizzas, and surprisingly, Detroit won. So that is a little bit about my experience so far, or coming to a close here. We can now get into the agenda for my presentation. I just gave my presentation. I was so nervous. I don't know what it is about virtual that is like, I guess because you can't really feed off of people's energy. You're speaking to a room and it's just a whole bunch of like names, and I was nervous. And so I was talking really fast because one of the notes that I got was that I had too many slides. And so she was kind of like, you got to move through your slides quickly. That way you can get through everything. So I went through my slides and I had like 15 minutes left. So then I had to ask for questions. And I was like, no, don't ask me a question. I haven't looked at this stuff. I don't know. I'm nervous. I was so nervous. Luckily, my director was on, so she asked me a question. This is so stressful. The girls are in the chat, and they're like, I choked. I choked too. Okay. And why did I have to go first? If I could have seen somebody else go, that also would have helped me out. Child. Okay. We have 3 more sessions, so I'm gonna join the other girls and I'm gonna support them. But child,
welcome Fola, who just joined, who's our new health fellow, who will be joining us for the next 6 months from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. So welcome Fola, we're happy to have you on board.
okay, good morning. Welcome back, vlog. It's been a minute, I feel like. Well, it really has. Well, one, we just had Labor Day last weekend. This is technically my last week on the job, my last week of my fellowship, but there's a couple of things going on. So first of all, my battery's about to die. 1 second. Oh, I took out my braids because yeah, they were getting rusty and crusty and dusty. I know this is supposed to be the vlog of my last days on the Hill, but I literally only have like a couple of days on the Hill, and I'm talking 2 because of just the way that my schedule works out. So past week was the last week of August, and there's this thing called August recess. So the Hill is either in session or it's in recess. It means their members are in the district. This is basically like summer break for the Hill. I can just not talk today. Recess and session weeks, they kind of alternate, kind of like 2 to 1, 2 weeks in session, 1 week on recess. When the House is in session, things are very busy. There are markups, there are hearings, there are briefings, people want to meet, the Congresswoman is in town, like a lot of things are going on. When it's recess, things are also busy, but they're a little bit more chill. It just depends on what's coming up during the next time we are in session. Because it was an August recess, it was very chill. It was more so like summer break. Like literally the congressmen and women, they were gone for the summer, and we were able to just kind of like grab our bearings and get things together. So things have been really, really chill. It's nice to kind of leave off on this note, but it doesn't really make it interesting for the vlog. It's also interesting because my chief has allowed us to take additional work from home days during the August recess. So I work from home on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday. So this is my last week. The last day of my fellowship is on the 6th, which is Friday. Today is the 2nd or the 3rd. Today is the 3rd, which is Tuesday, so that's why I'm here working from home. I just got off of my first morning meetings. I had one at 9:30, 10, and then now just 10:30. Yesterday was Monday, which was Labor Day, so I technically had Monday off. I'm working from home on Tuesday. I'm gonna go in on Wednesday, and then I work from home on Thursday, and then I always work from home on Friday, but specifically Friday, because of my last day of the fellowship, we have PD, which is professional development, which again, if you guys have been watching the vlogs, you know that's the first Friday of every month, which is this month, and it's also our last day of the fellowship, so it's kind of going to be like a big PD. That, I don't know if that's confusing or not, but I only have to go on the Hill one day this week, even though it's my last day, and that's tomorrow, which is Wednesday. It's pretty cool to have a relaxed last week. It's not really fun for the vlog, but I'm happy about it because I am moving next week, so I need to take this week when I'm not really in office to start packing because I haven't packed a single thing in my apartment. Last order of business that I wanted to update you guys on is the fact that I actually will be going back to the Hill, not on Monday, but on Tuesday, which I believe is the 10th. And that's technically going to be my last day because my chief wants me, and I also too want to say goodbye to my congresswoman. Like I said, we're in August recess right now, and so my congresswoman is at home in the state that she represents, and so I wouldn't have a chance to say goodbye to her. And I've been working for her for the past 6 months, so I really appreciate that my chief gave me the opportunity to come in order to say goodbye to her while we are in session. Now that day could be crazy because it's possible that we're gonna have a markup or maybe a hearing that day. We haven't gotten a notification yet, but I'm pretty sure we will before the week is over. So I'm very curious to see what that last day on the Hill is gonna be like. But that's going to be next Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is ALC or CBC week. And that was like one of the first vlogs that I did a part of this fellowship last year. ALC is the annual legislative conference, and the CBC, which is what my fellowship is, the Congressional Black Caucus / the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, is an organization that hosts this. And so because my member is a part of the Congressional Black Caucus, like she's going to be doing all these events. It's very confusing trying to explain this, but I will continue to work throughout ALC as an unofficial member of her team, because a big part of my last couple of months in the fellowship has been planning these panels, which are going to happen on Friday of next week. So that is the update. That is what I've been up to, literally working from home and not having that much work to do because I'm closing out on all of the projects. And also, you guys, the new CBCF fellow has started in the office today, so she's there and I'm not, and I'm like, what the heck, like y'all couldn't even wait to let my office chair get cold before you let somebody else new in. But I'm just kidding. She seems pretty cool. So I have one kind of like task that I'm going to work with her, and I'm just going to make sure that she has a really great transition into the office as I transition out of the office. Anyway, that's an update on how the last couple of days have gone, my morning has gone, and what I think my next week or two are gonna go like. Did you guys if anything interesting happens next? Y'all, so I finished my work for today. It's about 4 o'clock now, so I'm basically ending an hour early. I did take the time to do my makeup because I'm about to film a podcast, and then later on today, one of like our sponsors, that's kind of like a mentor in the program, he's part of the advisory board, he's taking out all the fellows to dinner. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything ready before my last meeting, that way I could film and then head there. That's at 6 p.m. I definitely want to be on time. I will tell you guys that we have like at least 3 or 4 of these lined up for like the next 2 weeks because everybody wants to take out the fellows to congratulate us and help us out on our job search for the next year and things like that. So definitely really appreciate it, especially because I love free food. Let me give you guys an overview of my work from home outfit of the day today. Is this not? Period. Get into the Sophie shorts. I don't normally wear a blazer at home, but it is low-key cold, and I just had on this bodysuit because like I was like, I just want to put on all my virtual meetings, and then I just put the blazer on top of it, and I looked so put together all day. And then for the last meeting I had my face beat. You can't tell me nothing, honey. But yes, I was in my Sophie shorts the entire time. Okay, I'm gonna film the podcast, and then I will pick you guys back up when we are on the way to dinner with the fellows. Good morning. It's the next day. I did not vlog at the dinner yesterday, and I can't even believe that because I really planned on it, but then, you know, life just happens sometimes, okay? And that's what happened. Sorry, y'all. My camera is still over there, so I'm just gonna like set y'all up here. I have not been waking up at a decent time was very much so giving roll out of bed and get to work, okay? This is my last real day going on the hill in the office. Kind of crazy. Maybe I'll have my sentimental moment when I get home or later on today at work. But for now, I need to pack my lunch, pack some caffeine, and head to the hill. I think I'm gonna, I wanted to grab breakfast. I wanted to grab breakfast on the hill, which maybe I will still do. I think I'm gonna still do, but I won't have enough time to go before I go to the office. So I'll have to go to the office, kind of like check in, and then walk my way over. There's nothing worse than not paying attention to your factor order. So you have meals that you don't really want. I do like this one though. This is the Parmesan and sun-dried tomato chicken pasta. If you guys don't know, this is what I've been doing to take with me to lunch for years now. For Factor, I get freshly, but they're basically the same thing. I also like to pack a snack with me because I be hungry. Do chai, tea, caffeine today. This is my cup today. I only have a little bit in here, which is good. I don't need too much, but man, I am so tired. Okay, wait, I lied. That's not enough. That is not enough. Y'all. Ooh, that was a lot. I didn't mean to do that much. Make my multivitamin concoction every day. I'm gonna try and do 30 days straight. Chlorophyll, probiotic, biotin. Y'all, I'm looking so thick and not in a good way. And if you guys have noticed, I have not been going to the gym. I honestly have just been super sad. If you guys have listened to the podcast, you know why. Cheers. Yeah. Between just being sad and not wanting to get up in the morning time, let alone to get up and go to the gym, I've kind of just given myself a period of rest. But unfortunately, that means that my body is, yeah, I'm not gonna be too hard on myself. At least I'm gonna try not to be. All right, y'all, I'm about to head to the hill. I'm gonna read my book on the way, you know, same old, same old. Talk to you guys when I get to the hill. Good morning. I have been doing a horrible job at vlogging, which sucks because these are literally like my last few days, and I'm not doing a good job of vlogging. One is because I don't take my vlog camera with me a lot to the hill, just because, like, you know, sensitive information, so I don't really like to show my stuff. 3, it's because I am like working from home so many days, so it's also harder for me to vlog from home when I feel like I'm literally rolling out of bed and then getting on my computer, and then yeah, it's been a mess. But Wednesday was my last official day in the office, and it was pretty uneventful. I had a couple in-person meetings, a lot of virtual meetings, closed out some tasks. Really the last things that I'm doing now are kind of like bill recommendations, and so I'm like, it's basically like just a mini write-up essay type of thing that I give to the legislative director, who will then give to the congresswoman. And so every time we have different constituents and organizations, lobbyists, etc., come in and they tell us like, hey, we would really love for your boss to co-sponsor or like sign on to this letter. Obviously she won't know about that unless we tell her, so I have to do like a write-up and say like, hey, I recommend or I don't recommend you sign on to this legislation or you sign on to this letter because of the information that I learned during this meeting, and like these are the issues and these are my concerns and things like that. And so because in general too, I think it's a very interesting time to be a CBCF fellow. I'm interested for the girls and the guys coming up behind us, because this Congress session is coming to a close and elections are coming up. You have people who are like retiring and really trying to push things, and also just the way that the political climate is right now, we know that like things are not going to get pushed. A lot of things are not going to get passed, they're not even going to be brought up. And so you have like everybody kind of push and want to do like the last thing for Congress, and it's like realistically, in theory, I guess realistically, it seems or feels as though like most, if not none of these things are going to get done or get through. But that's not my business. I'm still going to recommend for her to get on the things that I think that she should. And that is why also on Wednesday I had my closeout meeting, I think I told you guys, with my research director, and I was telling her about how I really thought that policy was the way to go when it comes to like action. Like I thought health policy meant that you would actually be getting things done. But I have heard this same complaint in medicine when you want to get things done and it feels like, oh, you can't because like law and legislation doesn't allow you to. But then like you try and change things in law and legislation and it's like, oh, you really can't because like this and that is going on. And it just feels like a lot of times people who are in the spaces or in the positions to get things done are just like having conversations about the issues and having conversations about what should be done, but nobody's actually getting things done. And I feel like this is across the board. I see this here in policy and government. I also see it in like education and academia. And so I'm very curious as to who are the people who are actually getting things done, because in my opinion, I don't feel like anybody is for real. With that reflection, it makes me not completely in love with health policy. I do really appreciate this experience because I know that I will use health policy in my future, but not right now. And that is why this chapter has to come to a close. At least I can say I worked on Capitol Hill, and like I said, for a major giant of a health champion. And so I really have learned the ins and outs of this. And I think it's going to be very helpful when I come back as a physician. I'm going to be advocating for my patients, or even just like physician, medical school resident needs. I will really know how to do it. I will know exactly not only how government works on a macro level, but on a micro level. Like literally, you guys, staffers make the country go round. I'll only say that. Like staffers make the country go round. They are the ones who do everything and get everything done. Having a great, intelligent, kind, nice, active member is just a cherry on top. Anyway, yeah, so I had that meeting with my boss on Wednesday, and then I also ended up going to lunch with the new CBCF fellow, and that is why I didn't vlog much either, because I brought my lunch, but it was my plan to stop for breakfast. But then I got in so late that I was like, honestly, I can't stop for breakfast. I just need to work. I had a lot of things waiting for me in my inbox Wednesday mornings, so I just got straight to work. And then after she introduced herself to me and she was like, is there a time, you know, where we can meet up? And I was like, well, I guess, you know, we can do lunch together, because the time that we had set up was 12. And I was like, okay, well, since I didn't get breakfast, I guess I'll get lunch. I just got Subway, and we ate like on the little outside patio thing. But again, this is a new person who I just met, and so I didn't have them on camera. And then after that, we had more meetings. Like we had a meeting all the way up until like 4:30, and then I went home and I immediately like took off my clothes, ate my meal prep dinner, and went to bed, because I just felt like I had a lot of human interaction, a lot of talking, common for Hill days, although not necessarily during recess. Anyway, that was my Wednesday. Yesterday was Thursday, and I worked from home, had a couple of meetings in the morning time. I finished out my bill recommendations in the afternoon, and then I actually got my nails done. I also completed my PowerPoint presentation for today, which is our last professional development. This is cool because it's the first PD for the new cohort, and it's the last PD for our cohort, and we are all going to give a presentation on our service, on our social impact service project. Mine was with the March of Dimes. I put together that presentation yesterday, and I'm going to present it today. And then afterwards, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to go out and we're going to have some fun. So I will vlog today for you all. I know, we literally know that. Yeah, memories. Oh my God. Welcome back. It's been a few days since you've last seen me. Today is Tuesday, September 10th. Did I say that like a Baltimorean? Tuesday? No, I think I said it fine. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm sure y'all let me know in the comments. I guess I'm heading to the Hill today. I've been very confused about my official last day because of this conference and everything that's going on, but I didn't really ask for enough clarification, to be honest, so I think that it's expected of me to show up today. I'm gonna see if I don't have to be there the entire day. My main goal is to drop off my badge, sad face, and my phone and my laptop and get a picture with the Congresswoman, and to drop off some thank you cards and to send any last emails that I possibly can on my house email address. And anything else that I get from today will be a bonus. I always try and talk to you guys while I'm putting on this Apple Watch. It is always such a struggle. Anyway, yeah, that's my goal for today. I know I previously mentioned to you all how this week they're going to be in session. There's a lot of things going on. I assume, but I can't say for sure, because there's going to be a markup. The senior health advisor is going to ask me to staff the Congresswoman to the markup. I absolutely wouldn't mind that. I definitely don't think it would be smart for me to go to any meetings today because I won't be able to follow up with them later on. Last time with the work laptop. Last time with the badge. I should do like everything today that I can do with the badge on the Hill, just cuz. Got my notebook, I've got my thank you cards, which I haven't written yet. Yeah, y'all, I really don't know what to expect for today. Of course, I'm hoping that I have a good day. I will try to vlog as much as I can today. See you guys on the Hill for the last time.
Club will go all night. I see you in the back, the mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music, energies like this was meant to be. Take my hand, I feel my heart beat.
I'm so embarrassed. Why am I coming back tomorrow? This was supposed to be my last week of work. And somehow I was finessed. Okay, good morning, you all. As you can see, I'm dressed and ready to go for the day. It is actually way later in the day. Not my normal time, but I am about to head to the Hill. You guys are probably like, I'm so confused. When is your last day? I thought you said these were your last days on the Hill and you just keep going back. I'm confused too. Okay, I will at least just say that the way that my fellowship worked out is that, because I think I mentioned this before, my first week was the CBC week, which is ALC, which is the annual legislative conference. Then my fellowship ended the week before. So I told my office, because I planned the little panels that my Congresswoman is putting on for the CBC Health Brain Trust. Yeah, I told them that I wanted to participate in the conference. Here's my badge, by the way. And they're taking that as I want to continue working there until the conference is over. That's not what I said. It's not what I said. It's not what I said. That's literally not what I said. But it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, everything's fine. I'm mainly irritated because I went in yesterday. The reality is that I didn't have to, but they literally have me like doing work. I was like, y'all, what is going on? You're probably like, Brelynn, why do you keep going in? Well, yesterday I went in because I think I told you guys this. My last technical day in office, we were in recess, and so my boss wasn't there, and also none of my coworkers were there. Whenever it's the end of somebody's fellowship, the interns, when people are leaving the office or their birthday, we always have like an in-office celebration. And so I felt some type of way because I wanted to be celebrated for my time in the office. I went on vacation for my birthday, so I didn't get a birthday celebration. So I don't know, I was just feeling some type of way. And so when my chief asked me to come in on Tuesday, I was like, okay, even though I'm not working anymore, I would really like to, you know, get a goodbye from the office and like have this closing experience. So I'll come in. But then there was no closing experience. Like, I was like, ready. And child, there was no closing experience, so that was interesting. But I have the best boss ever. Today he did say that we are going to have like a lunch celebration. Unfortunately, I am fasting right now with my church, so I can only have liquids from 6 to 6. So I asked him if we can do like a smoothie place. I know that's not what my coworkers and stuff would want, because like who wants to get free lunch and like it ended up being smoothies? But I'm like, you guys can order like sandwiches and salads and stuff. I don't know. I just don't want to break my fast. I know it's going to be a long day. After I go to the Hill and we do the lunch shindig, I'm going to stop the Congresswoman for all of her events as she hops and bops around the city. And then I believe we're going to go to the convention center at some point in time to actually attend the conference. Child, her schedule is booked and busy, so I really don't know what to expect. But I do know that I'm not really running late, but I wasn't going to get there at 9 a.m. because I'm like, I literally don't work here. And there are events all the way up until later on tonight. So I wanted to, get really cute, hence the cute OOTD and the hair and the makeup period. So I'm gonna try and get as much footage as I can on my phone. Okay, y'all, let's do a voiceover because I'm sorry there are so many montages in today's video, but you know how it is, sometimes it's very difficult for me to bring my camera around or talk while at work. But this is really my last day on the Hill. It was pretty weird being there and not having a lot of things to do, but I was able to have my final like going away party. And then I decided that because it was my last day and I didn't have much to do in the actual office, that I would roam the Hill, and I visited the gallery. They don't allow phones in there, so I wasn't able to record much, but it was really just my last day kind of doing all the things that I could do on Capitol Hill with the badge. And then it was time for me to staff the Congresswoman. Now, as I mentioned, this is ALC week, but as a congressional member, she also has to do voting. It was a regular work day for her. After we picked her up from the Capitol where she was doing voting, she had 3 events that she RSVP'd for. The first one was a reception that another member was holding. The second one, I believe, was a Black in Health Policy event, which she gave remarks at. Third one, I believe it was a state party. They will have like the state of Alabama, which will throw a party in DC, and everybody will go to the party, or like it's a reception or whatever. These are pretty popular parties. It's actually funny because I saw people on TikTok who are not in government, who didn't care anything about ALC, who didn't actually go to the conference during the day, who were talking about all the parties that would be going on at nighttime. So I will admit it was nice to go to these parties with the Congresswoman because we didn't have to wait in line and we were guaranteed admission. Once she let us go around 9 p.m. because she was in VIP chat, and she's like, y'all can go home if you want to. I was like, okay, bye Congresswoman. And I actually went to the convention center because they were hosting the CBCF alumni reception there, and all of my friends were going to be there. Gosh, I'm talking too slow. We already on Thursday. Okay, so the next day for Thursday, I didn't have any work responsibilities, so I went to 2 events that I wanted to go to. The first one was on Howard's campus. It was a maternal mortality crisis panel, and the second panel was actually at the annual legislative conference. It was in combination with Morehouse School of Medicine, Black Health, and Advil. I love this because Dr. Uche Blackstock was on the panel. If you guys remembered, I read her book earlier this year, Legacy, and I loved it, especially as a aspiring Black physician. So I went to that panel, and I also ended up getting her to sign my book, which was really exciting. After that panel, I roamed to the expo hall, and over the loudspeaker, I overheard a familiar voice, and turns out it was my Spelman sister and an old professor of mine, Dr. Gregory Bass from Spelman. So that was really exciting. I was able to talk to her and a couple of my other professors as well who were on the panel. And then we go into Friday. This was the big day, the Congressional Black Caucus's Health Brain Trust. This was a huge event. Out of all the panels that I went to, the most people were at this panel, and this is also the panel that I put on. So I was really excited to see all of my hard work come into fruition and to officially put an end to working in my boss's office. Before I left the convention center for the day, I went to the Hip Hop Caucus event chaired by Maxine Waters. They had a few fun special guests, but honestly by this time I was tired, so I just took the train home. Well, y'all, I am officially done with my fellowship. I can't believe it. This year has gone by super fast, but also really slow at the same time. I have had a lot of great memories. I'm so grateful for all the people that I have met. It's definitely been an interesting experience being in this government and policy sector, being a pre-med girly and a health scientist and a pre-med student and a future physician. But I definitely, like I said, have learned a lot about myself, and just I think I'm excited to see how all this information is going to help me be a better physician and just a better, well-rounded young woman altogether. I want to thank everybody who I have met along this journey. I hope I can continue to stay in touch with you all. This week was a little bit unexpected. Well, first of all, this whole vlog, I'm like, it's officially the end. Today was the last day of the in-person conference sessions at the annual legislative conference. Wednesday was a crazy day in itself. Thursday was a little bit more chill, and then today, Friday, was chill but just a little bit long, so I'm happy to be done. I hope you all enjoyed what I have been able to capture of my CBCF experience. I am now unemployed and we have to figure out what is next, but in the meantime, what we are saying is that I am fun employed, because I don't even want to like have a whole bunch of fun. I just want to rest. Like, I have just been going nonstop. I had a little bit of rest for my birthday, but other than that, I mentioned this before, but working on the Hill is just like so all-encompassing that I'm super excited just to have a moment and not working on the Hill, to have a break from that, to have my life autonomy back, sleep in, go to the gym at 10 a.m. if I want to, and also have more time to create content for you all. So if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I also believe I'll have more time to record podcasts. Next up for me, I'll be moving this apartment, but I will keep you all updated on that, as well as everything else, both on here, vlogs, as well as on Instagram. So make sure you're following me over there at Brelynn.hunt. I say this every time, but I'm going to start on TikTok, so maybe follow me over there as well at Brelynn Hunt. And that is going to bring me to the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, that way you don't miss notification from me, and be sure to live each day to the fullest, because you only live once. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.